What's happening, everyone? Jason here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do another video, and this is going to be the 5 things that I, let's say, dislike about the Supra. Not hate, because there really is not much to hate about this car. So I also did a 5 things I love about this car, and I plan on maybe doing a second part because there's so many things I love about this car. But in this video, we are going to talk about 5 things that I dislike or kind of drive me crazy a little bit about the car, and let's get into it. Number 1, fragile interior pieces. This is a problem with a lot of 90s JDM cars. A lot of pieces in the interior tend to break, and let me give you some examples. One thing that I've noticed that tends to break a lot is the center console, and that's the latch and the hinges on the inside. So when you have it up like this, if someone hits it like this, you can easily break one of these hinges. This piece was broken when I got it. The latch was destroyed and one of the hinges was completely broken, so the center console was just shaking around. But I've since replaced it, and you just got to be careful with it when you open and close it. The ashtray was broken when I got the car, so I had to replace that. One thing that I'm always really careful about is this latch right here. When I close the glove box, I'm trying not to slam it too hard because I don't want the latch to break. Because I know if I ever had to replace it, it would be pretty hard to find and expensive. I have a video on my channel of how to remove all of these plastic dash pieces, but they all have clips on the back that clip into the dash, and they break pretty easily if you don't take them off the right way. And this is actually going to be a great segue into the number 2 thing on this list, and that is price and availability of parts. Parts for this car are pretty expensive because this car is old and Toyota has decided to discontinue a lot of them. The good thing about having a right-hand drive car is the parts tend to be a little bit cheaper because there were a lot more cars made in Japan than there were here in America. But you're going to have to buy them from overseas mostly. Australia is a big one. You get a lot of parts from there off of Facebook, and you're going to have to pay a lot for shipping, but you can usually get the parts a little bit cheaper. A good example would be the headlights. The Series 1 headlights that came on this 93 Supra originally were chrome on the inside, and the chrome usually peels away and cracks, and the lenses get really yellow. So if you want to replace your headlights, those are going to be $1,000. One thing that scares me to death about this car are these side skirts. These are original JDM side skirts, and these are extremely rare. If you ever need to find a replacement set of these, good luck. There was a guy on Facebook the other day that was looking for some, and he was willing to pay like $3 grand for them. I just got to be really careful with these. Taking them off is super scary because I don't want to break anything. But yeah, if you have a JDM Supra with these side skirts, if you ever had to replace them, it would not be easy. Same goes for these spats over here. It took me forever to find a set of these. Now the front bumper you can still get pretty easily. They still make it brand new, and you can get it from Toyota for like $400. But dear God, if you ever get in a rear end accident, good luck finding a new rear bumper. Your best bet is going to be to either buy a crappy fiberglass replica one or buy a used one from someone, and it's probably going to be all damaged and it's going to cost you $1,000. So rear bumper, extremely hard to get. Like I said, for the right-hand drive cars, you can still get a lot of these dash plastics pretty easily. They pop up on eBay every once in a while. People on Facebook are selling them. But if you have a left-hand drive car, this piece right here, it's gonna run you like 600 bucks or something crazy like that. And I could go on and on about pieces in here that are really hard to find, that have been discontinued, but you get the idea. Number 3, why on earth does this car have back seats? Not only is there no legroom, the main problem is there's no headroom. If you're sitting back here, you better be like 5'2", because if not, your head is going to be touching the roof, and if the driver goes over a bump, it's not going to feel good. So I have no idea why there are back seats here. I feel like they should have just made this a 2-seater. I don't know if there was a reason that they wanted to make it a 4-seater, but every Supra owner that I know agrees. No one ever sits back here. These seats are useless. And again, this is going to segue into my next thing, and that is storage space. Now it might look like it's pretty big, but it's really not. It's really shallow, and if you put anything in here that's maybe taller than a foot, it's going to touch the bottom of the hatch. Now again, I feel like if they didn't put back seats in this car, they could have had a lot more storage space. But this is really not a big deal because this car is not a grocery getter. I'm not taking it on long trips with luggage, but it would be nice to have a little bit more space. And finally, number 5 thing that I dislike about the Supra is how the target top is removed. I love how the target top is stored. That's awesome. There's these little holders in the back that hold the target top. So when you're driving, you can take it with you in case it rains and you have to put it back on. That does eliminate all of the trunk space though. You pretty much can't use it if the target top is back there. But the thing that I don't like about the target top is how it's removed. There are 4 bolts in the roof and then 1 lock in the middle. You have to take out all 4 bolts and then you can unlock it and lift the target top off and put it in the trunk. It doesn't sound too bad, but unscrewing these things actually takes a long time. You also have to be extremely careful because you can strip the threads in the roof, and if you do that, you're pretty much screwed and have to replace the roof. So it's not anything like in the Fast and the Furious when Brian just punches the roof out of the car and it goes flying off. Extremely unrealistic. I wish they had made this car more like the 300ZX where it unclips right here on both sides and it has 2 pieces that you remove and it's a T-top. And then you store the pieces behind the seat, I'm pretty sure. But it's just so much easier to take those off than to take this one off. I think the MR2 is also the same way. This is the tool that Toyota provides you with to remove the roof. It's basically just an Allen wrench, but they created this kind of ratcheting wrench. It makes it a lot easier. This tool was actually missing when I got the car, so I had to get a brand new one, but they still make them brand new, and you can actually even get this bag from Toyota still. So it's nice that they provided this, but I just wish that they had made taking the roof off a little bit easier so you didn't have to worry about stripping the threads in the roof and also just how long it takes. I feel like with how hard it is to take this roof off, it kind of deters people from taking it off. They don't like to take it off too often. So sometimes they'll just take it off and leave it off like that for a couple months if they're lucky enough to park it in the garage like I am. So in the summer, usually the roof stays off on this car. We don't take it out in the rain anyways, or if it even looks like it's gonna rain. So yeah, in the summer, we pretty much leave the roof off all the time and park it in the garage. All right, everyone, those are the 5 things that I dislike about the Supra. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you own a Supra and what some of the things that drive you crazy are. And I hope you would consider subscribing to the channel and leave a like. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.